Good morning, salam, peace, and greetings. Hello, I'm Rashid Hassan, and I'm the author of a series, Removing the Middleman. It's a series on the Quran for the 21st century. Some of you may have already seen copies of my book. Volume 1 and 2 is already out through Amazon and on Kindle. And Volume 3 should be coming out sometime this year. It's a result of a journey I've taken over the many, many years into the Quran. I've traveled around the world. I have talked to many, many people and tried to understand what faith is all about, what goodness is all about. There is a crisis of faith and there's a crisis of human goodness in the world today, in our confidence in our future as a human race. People all over the world are suffering from inequality, are suffering from despair, widespread corruptions, corporate greed, and a lack of understanding of what faith is all about, and respect for God, His creation, and the books of Revelation that He's given to many of us through Prophet Moses and Jesus and Muhammad, and many, many other prophets through the generations. At least for those of us who are Muslim, those who have faith in God based on the Quran, we are required to read the Bible and the Torah and other books of Revelation on the assumption that they're all from the same God. They all contain the same messages and same foundations and principles. And also, I'm coming from a perspective of a practicing person of faith. I'm not a preacher. I don't memorize the Quran. I don't only focus on the rituals. I wish to understand the Quran, learn first by reading, contemplating, and then thinking through what it means to be living day-to-day basis based on those instructions and guidance. And I believe most of you are listening out of the same background. And too many of us somehow have become beholden to the clerics, and we feel that they're the only one who can talk about faith, even though if you look at the prophets, they all were not preachers, in my judgment, in my point of view. They were civic leaders. They have a deep faith in God and a deep understanding of the human race and the contemporary world and society they lived in. They did not accept status quo. They challenged and decided that the world has to be different than what it should be, what it is, and what it should be. And I think that's the same spirit that I'm asking you to share with me and to have a conversation, to have a safe zone where you can talk about our faith, about our religious books, and challenge and debate, and not feel that you cannot challenge ideas and thoughts, even in the books of Revelations, in an attempt to better understand our own understanding, and also to be able to generate debates and discussion and share our collective wisdom so that we can come to a better understanding and consensus as we build communities and societies and bring the world together. This is not a discussion about whether you're a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian or people of other religion. It's more about faith. Anybody who believes in God, I believe, should participate in this conversation. And I'm more than happy if you bring your own religious books as a way to amplify, contribute, and debate the concepts and ideas and the core values that would be discussed as part of this broader video series, podcast, and whatever other tools we can bring to bear. Given that Quran, as many of the Muslims believe, is the last book of Revelation, it does confirm the teachings in the Bible and the Torah. So in that sense, Quranic messages and understanding is, in essence, an understanding of the Bible, the Torah, and other books, because God had sent many, many prophets and leaders throughout the world, throughout the generations, and we all bound to listen to them, to see the unison the commonality in our faith, in our values, in our system, that I think emanates from the one source, the eternal God, God Almighty, God the Sovereign, God the Creator. Creation isn't necessarily a single event, it's an evolution, as science have already demonstrated to us. And our understanding of the world and science and the weather and the natural world has advanced tremendously. And that should help us to better appreciate the world we are in, the kind of existence we have as a human being, and the rest of the creation that are part of our ecosystem on this planet and in the universe. So I'm hoping that this series would bring people together, would spark some conversation, dialogue, and I'm, with all the humility, hope that I can be a catalyst. But at the end of the day, all of us together have to bring the conversation to meaningful debate, discussion, and hopefully we can draw some conclusion along the way. As far as my background, I'm an entrepreneur, engineer. Went to MIT for engineering and then went to Wharton School for Business. And I'm a businessman as well. So my perspective is going to be very different than a clerical perspective. And in that way, I also look at Prophet Muhammad and Jesus and Moses being social leaders. They're leaders who were active every day in the society, in the life. They earn a living. They took care of families, raised children, and thought deeply about the world they were part of and desired to change it for the better, for not just for them, not just for the immediate community, but for the world at large. And I think it's the same drive that forces me to write the commentary on the Quran. And I hope that you will listen to it. You'll get a copy of the book. It's available on Amazon. It's also on Kindle. Also, you can read the book on my website, rashedhassan.com, RASHEDHASAN.com. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. You can email me at rashedhassan.com or our nonprofit at mylife.org. You can also see some of the things we're proposing to do as part of the understanding and implementation of the discussion we're going to have. And I would ask you to join in our effort. And there also you can email me at rashed@mylife.org. And our website is www.mylife.org. My Life spelled it MYLLIFE. Thank you so much. I look forward to the conversation. If you like this video, the podcast, please do share your likeness and send us your comments, and also send it to your friends and families and whoever else they can connect to in the social media. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.